Good morning, YouTube. When your get tos become have tos, and retraining your brain out of a sense of obligation. Nothing sucks the life out of an experience like a sense of have to. Work. Maybe when you first got the job, you thoroughly loved the job. And it's still no less rewarding and beneficial than when you got the job, but the new car smell wore off. We like variety, and we get bored quickly. And whether it's your children that are acting all crazy, or your job and your coworkers that are stressing you out, or it's that mess that you have to clean up in your house, you have to. These things have to be done. They need to be done. From financial, self-care, house care, child care, job, they all need to be taken care of. But at some point in your life, these were not have tos, they were want tos. You were so excited when you learned you were going to have that baby. You love your kids so much, no matter what. And yet sometimes, I have to get up with a baby again. I have to deal with your temper tantrums and fighting. I have to go to my job. I have to clean the house. Technically, you don't have to. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to go to 10,000 soccer games. You don't have to go to work. You could live in a box. You could live in the street, and you could neglect your kids, and you could allow yourself and your house to get dirty. These things, you really do have a choice. You don't have to do anything. And when you first got married, or you first got in that relationship, you saw all the positives. You were so excited to talk to this person, you couldn't keep away from them for 2 seconds. Now sometimes you have to remind yourself to have a decent conversation or a date night with your partner or spouse. I have to. Nothing sucks the life out of your life and your enjoyment of your life like a sense of obligation. Retrain your brain. I don't have to go to work. I get to go to work. You can do this through a growing sense of gratitude, recognition of what you have as opposed to what others have. That if I didn't have my job, I might not have a warm place to sleep and I'd be in a snowbank right now. Try to recall your early experiences of the situation, the relationship, how excited you were to have those kids, how excited you were to work out and to eat clean. Try to recall and hold on to in your heart and your mind your early experiences. My watch is telling me it's time to wake up, even though I've been up for a couple hours. Sorry, I had to click that. It was driving me nuts. Try to pull back those earlier memories and then think about the current situation and place those feelings of the past into the current situation. Sit with them, stew with them about how great it was. What did you love about it, them? What were you excited about? Think about all the positives of the situation that were early on before you got to get this gift became a have to. And try to overlay those previous experiences. Once you get to that place in your heart where you're big and grown like the Grinch that stole Christmas, and your heart grows three sizes bigger, and you think of all the fondness. Try to think about the current person, situation, duty, workplace, activity, goal, and make that a present day feeling. And the more you try to connect these dots of emotion to relating to the current situation repetitively in your mind, it will cement in your unconscious positive feelings toward these situations that over time, unconsciously, you have allowed GET Tos to become feeling like HAVE Tos because of unconscious habits, because life happens and it's not always easy, it's not always simple, things get crazy, people get crazy, and stuff happens, and that stuff picks away at the thrill of it. The familiarity picks away at the thrill of it. And you feel drained and obligated. And you need to pull back to where it began and try to draw on those reasons and those feelings and reconnect the circuitry in your mind with the present day situation and reignite some of those feelings, those perspectives, and those beliefs repetitively through the association of the previous feelings to the present day, and then follow through with acting as if in your relationships. Act from those feelings of early on. In your work, act from those feelings of early on as much and as often as you can. And the conscious habit of reassociating the positives that you once felt with the present day will begin to erode that unconscious connection that you made of duty, obligation, and sucking the life out of your day-to-day life. It's no longer new. It's old hat. And it's work. Home is work. Relationships are work. Life is work. But you have so many blessings in your life. You get to clean that countertop because you have a countertop to clean. You have a house to live in that has a countertop. You have running water to wash yourself in. Isn't that awesome? How lucky are you that you get to get up and take a bath and brush your teeth? Not everyone is so lucky. When you first moved into your home, how grateful were you for it? How comfortable is that recliner? How comfortable is that bed? Aren't you glad you have the house that you have? To get re-inspired, to move your HAVE Tos back to GET Tos, back to excitement, back to engagement. Pull from history. Consciously reconnect the positive feelings of the past to the present existence of those things in your life, and recognize that they are gifts. They are gifts. Be grateful that they are gifts. Nothing in life worth having doesn't take work. And you have to keep up the work in order to keep the gift. You have to maintain it. But you don't have to maintain it with an attitude of obligation. You maintain it with an attitude of appreciation. Like a collection. Polishing that brand new car because it's beautiful and cherished. And just because you've had it a while and it's beginning to run you down, be careful to check. Are my get tos feeling like have tos? And what do I have to do to retrain my brain to remember that so many things that I don't even recognize in my life are blessings? How fortunate am I? How fortunate am I that I get to clean my house because I can walk around and do it? I'm physically capable of doing that. How fortunate am I? How fortunate am I that I have a house, a place to store my stuff? That's pretty much all a house is a place to store our stuff, keep us warm. So when you feel your life sucking the life out of you, check with yourself. Have you made your get tos into have tos? If you want to keep the gifts you've been given and care for them properly, appreciate them properly, you need to go back and decide to have a different attitude, to have that excitement again, to have that get to again, and to act accordingly. And it may take some time and it may take some work because you've been at this degrading for some time. You're not just going to think about it and snap your fingers and suddenly everything is fresh and new. But if it's worth it to you, it's worth working on your attitude of obligation. And if it's no longer worth it to you, such as your job perhaps it's time to move on. So either get back to appreciating it, get back to appreciating that you get to, you don't have to, you get to, or get stepping. Attitude of get to versus obligation. Retrain your brain toward appreciation. Love you guys. Good morning. Bye, YouTube.